Imagine she drove him away, convinced the world he was broke. She vanished, telling lies, while he stood alone in emptiness. But she never knew he was hiding a fortune worth $500 million. 5 years later, she saw him again, and everything changed. He met her eyes across a crowded room, then remembered the nights she said he had nothing. Nights he begged her to stay, nights she laughed and walked away. She believed he was poor. She believed his dreams were empty. But she never saw the quiet strength within him. She never understood how much he would rise. Back then, he wore an old jacket. He drove a cheap car. But inside his mind, he was working every sunrise, every dusk. He saved every cent he could, invested smart, sacrificed comfort. And he kept it secret, not for revenge, but for survival. This is the story of betrayal, transformation, and unexpected reunion. It's a journey from heartbreak to triumph, from loss to vindication. It's about how someone underestimated him, how someone walked away, and how he rebuilt everything brick by brick. In the next minutes, you'll hear the full story. The day she left, the struggle he endured, the secret path he took to wealth, how fate brought them together again, and what she did when she discovered he wasn't poor at all. Stay with me, because this is not just a tale of money. It's a story about self-worth, about power within, and about how people who betray can never truly know who they abandoned. Let's begin. He never saw it coming. The phone call came late one night, her voice cold, distant. She said she needed space. She said she couldn't stay. He never understood why she added, "You have nothing, you're worthless." They had been married for years. They shared dreams, small joys, long talks. But she had doubts, whispers in her mind that he lacked ambition. She grew restless, looked for stability she thought he didn't have. And one night, she walked out. He begged, pleaded. He offered proof, promises, tears. But she didn't listen. She said she wanted someone with means, someone certain, someone secure. To her, he was sliding downward. She painted him as poor, unsuccessful, broken. He watched as she packed, as she shut the door without a backward glance. The echo in the empty house haunted him. The world outside listened to her story. He was nothing, I deserve better. And many believed her. Behind closed doors, though, he was struggling. He had debts, yes. He had false starts. But he also had ideas. He had hope. He had resolve. Despite the humiliation, despite the heartbreak, he gripped a small belief. Someday, she would see. In the early days after she left, nights were long. He slept little, worked more. He swallowed shame, grit his teeth, and pressed on. He never spoke of money. He never gloated. He just toiled. She moved on. She built new stories for friends, family. She told them she left because he couldn't provide. She told them she deserved someone better. And she left him with a name, the man with nothing. But there was one thing she overlooked, the seed he planted in secret. A seed of ambition, of strategy, of planning. That seed would grow, and one day she'd have to reckon with it. He started small. He opened a side business. He took freelance jobs others refused. He studied, learned, risked. He saved every extra rupee. He invested in assets no one noticed. He made lists, plotted strategies. He reached out to mentors. He read books on business, finance, psychology. He learned how money works, how to multiply, compound, grow. He kept his life minimal. He denied luxuries. He slept less. He worked at odd hours. He faced rejection, failure, setbacks. Every obstacle tested him. Many times he wanted to quit. But the memory of that night she left, and the false lies she spoke, fueled him. Slowly, his small investments returned. He reinvested. He diversified. He opened companies. He acquired property. He built networks. He leveraged talent. No one knew. Not his old friends. Not his neighbors. He kept humble. He wore simple clothes. He avoided brag. He didn't post lavish photos. He just built. Years passed. The small investment here turned into a company. The properties appreciated. The business lines expanded. He acquired stakes. He partnered with investors. He built equity. And through it all, he remembered the pain. He remembered being dismissed as a man with nothing. He remembered the lies she told. But he also learned empathy, strategy, patience. He learned that success is silent. He amassed wealth quietly. He built trusts, holdings, offshore accounts, diversified portfolios. He scaled operations globally. He became a hidden force. Yet inside, he never forgot. This was for him. But she would discover. One day, she would see that the man she called poor was now a titan she abandoned. Then came a turning point. A major investment he had made quietly exploded. The startup he backed became a leader. The real estate he bought became gold. His work paid off. A merger, a sale, a public listing, suddenly the holdings soared. The silent fortune he held became public value. The net worth skyrocketed. It wasn't overnight. It was years of disciplined growth. But this moment validated it all. The sleepless nights, the rejection, the sacrifices. The moment when his hidden wealth became undeniable.
He didn't broadcast it.
He didn't rush to show off. He kept discretion. But insiders noticed. Business circles whispered. Powerful people learned his name. He moved into luxury, but selectively. He upgraded properties, but kept a base in humility. He built a life of balance, success, and character. Then fate intervened. He heard she was coming back in his city. She'd returned to visit family. She'd heard rumors. She wanted to see him. He wondered. Would he speak? Would he reveal? Or wait? He felt power in restraint. He felt confidence rising. The day approached. He looked in the mirror. He saw a man transformed.
Scarred, yes.
Strong, yes. Wealthy, yes. But also humble, wise, tempered. He prepared. Not just for confrontation, but for grace. He prepared to be the man she'd underestimated. He prepared for redemption, not for her sake, but for his own. The day she arrived, he heard whispers. She would walk the old streets. She would cross familiar paths. He knew she'd pass by his place. He chose the cafe near where they once used to sit. He chose a table by the window. He asked for coffee. He waited. He watched the door. His heart pounded, not with fear, but with poised patience. Then she walked in. She looked older. She looked surprised. Her eyes flickered across every face. Then she saw him. She froze. His presence pulled her attention. He hadn't changed ostentatiously, but he radiated confidence. His posture, his look, the quiet wealth in his aura. She felt it. Her mind raced. She recognized him, but uncertain how. He offered a nod. She hesitated, then walked over. The moment cracked with tension, memory, regret. She stammered. He let her speak. He let her ask questions. He let her feel the weight of silence. She said, "How can you look like this? Where did all this come from?" He answered simply, "I worked. You walked away." Her eyes welled. She fought tears. She asked about the years, the money, the changes. He told parts, not all. He told enough to shatter her false narrative. She whispered about regrets. She said she'd believed the lies. She said she didn't know he had potential. She asked, "Why didn't you tell me?" He answered, "Because I had to become first. I had to build myself. And now I stand, whole."